So it's been 5 days since the whole storm the Capitol, right? And the left hasn't disappointed in their reaction, I suppose. Trump is banned from Twitter, along with, I read somewhere, 60,000 other people, which is outlandish. And then a lot of people went to Parler as an alternative to Twitter. Then Amazon, well, first Google, and then Apple are like, nah, we don't like Parler. I think we're going to take it out of our application stores, which would obviously make it difficult to have it on any device. And then Amazon, who most people are unaware of the fact that Amazon, one of their largest revenue streams comes from owning servers. And so companies pay Amazon for server storage, all the data that it takes to run the websites and all their usernames and password, all that fun. So the value of Amazon servers alone is around $32 billion. And the majority of people aren't even aware of the fact that that's a part of what Amazon does. So Amazon says, yeah, Parler, we don't want to maintain your servers anymore. Goodbye. Without the ability to store data, you no longer have a valid site. So Nancy Pelosi wants to impeach Trump because 2 weeks is too much time. Not only that, but she reached out to the Pentagon and told them not to listen to Donald Trump, which is an act of treason by definition. But you want to compare the storming of the Capitol to 9/11. This is the greatest catastrophe on American soil since 9/11. I am personally more disgusted by the politicians who are in the Capitol regularly than I am by the individuals who stormed it. And I believe that that opinion is shared quite heavily throughout this country. And this goes back to treating the symptom instead of the problem. See, this whole thing with the Capitol being stormed, this whole thing where you have millions and millions of people feeling disenfranchised, that is a symptom. We all know that there is a lack of competency within our government. That's being very polite. I'm trying not to be too provocative because they might kick you off for that. And I just kind of got started. So, you know, I might find an alternative media site that isn't quite so picky and I can be a little bit more loose. We will see. Still put stuff on this, but do it however. Right now I'm just talking into the void for the most part. But that's how it goes. Rabbit trails. Okay. The individuals who came in after the storming of the Capitol would be the politicians, who then were able to stay up all night and push through the Electoral College and bulldoze over any would-be objections, like there was made in our great state of Pennsylvania. That just kind of got sweep that under the rug. And then all the congressmen and senators who are going to stand up for Trump and all those people who feel disenfranchised, like 72 million, 73 million, something like that. It doesn't matter. The apparently. So, all those people now are able to duck out in outrage. Oh, these deplorable people. They stormed the Capitol, and now we just can't even be bothered. So I'm pretty sure now that it's out of everyone's system, it's all just gonna fade back away into the ether. Goodbye. The people's anger, it's sated. We no longer have to worry about people being upset. So, for the past year, we got to hear about how upset everybody was. And now a whole nother group of people are very upset. And I'm pretty sure the first group of people are still pretty upset. That's it's almost got to be intentional. Like, I don't know, it's insane. I guess when you have a large group of individuals and all those individuals are just looking out for themselves or their own best interest or the people who boosted them their best interest. I do feel that there are good people within politics. It's a very, very small margin, but they exist. They got into it with pure motives. Maybe more of them got into it with pure motives than ended up kind of going through. But you got the swamp creatures, the people that have been in this for a very long time, and they are professional getting reelected. Been in this for 30, 40 years, 50 years, and they have a complete disconnect with the population and with their fellow man. The career politician needs to take a step back and familiarize themselves with the people. Because this whole attack on the Capitol was definitely not an attack on them. It wasn't an attack on the Capitol, it was just a venting of frustrations. There were a lot of people and a lot of pent up hostilities, but there was no organization. There was no real motivation, and there was no top down hierarchy, no structure like that. Trump never said take that building. Nobody was under the assumption that Trump was going to come waltzing in through the crowd and it opens up and it's there was never any delusion of that. It was just an expression of discontent. We wanted them to know that they were out there. I didn't realize people are going to start breaking windows and smashing open doors and breaking all into that. So, which was foolishness, because then you seem like a group of wild animals, and you cannot be condoned. You cannot condone that type of behavior when you spend an entire year complaining about it. It's okay to riot and break stuff as long as the people have the same ideology as you, right? That's what we've been told, because that's the way it was represented the entire time. Cities were burning, all that fun. A lot of people died. They were autonomous zones set up. You got to raid Gucci stores, and get TVs, and do all this other fun. You know, that was no good. And I'm sure that there were a lot of peaceful protesters throughout that time. I'm sure that there were some. I mean, the ratio of peace to actual violence on the 6th was astronomically towards the peaceful. Astronomically. There was 500,000 people there. I have the video. It's posted right there. Go through and count them. I didn't actually, but you can see people as far as the eye can see, all the way around. It's like 18 seconds. So, watch that. But there was no mass destruction. There was no craziness aside from what went on in a very specific point. And that was a very, very marginal amount of people. So, things are being blown way out of proportion. and the powers that be are working on the Patriot Act 2.0, right? And so I guess we'll see how, along with the silencing of those who disagree with them and the legal bills being passed in order to do that, and then having the control of the Senate, the House, and the White House, you know, we'll see what type of things happen. Now, some of the more extreme left groups do not have a set representative in the Biden administration. Nobody from the squad is being placed in any position of significance. Bernie and the boys, you know, Comrade Sanders, none of them. Monsanto's been put in charge of agriculture, I believe, and that's one of the most evil corporations. Look into them. We can do a whole video about that at some point, but yeah, not impressed. It's basically the who's who of corporate scumbaggery. That's what Biden's been about his whole career, though. So it can't really be a surprise. Sucking the long dick of corporations. That's his whole MO. You know, he's been sold out to China. The Chinese Communist Party is evil as hell. We all know that. Organ harvesting and, you know, concentration camps, slave labor. Great stuff over there. Yep. Uh, so that's good. They own the president. The Chinese are real happy about it, though. That business guy, that video went viral. That was on, what's his name there? The angry guy on Fox. I can't remember. I know it. The real popular one. Whatever. Saying how ecstatic they are for the Biden administration. Uh, One individual in China just referred to it as it's like a wonderful window of opportunity opening. It's insane. So that's cool. Yeah. Get back into the Iran deal so we can pay them to not make nuclear weapons and to not do stuff. You know what's cool? Like, you pay people for whatever. And they packed all that money into the stimulus bill. That was great. The $10 million for Pakistani gender, and then what 1.5 for lizards on treadmills. There's speedboats. Then what? Oh, there's a whole bunch of ridiculous stuff. So it's awesome. It's great. We got $600. Woo! You know, that's cool. So if they just gave us all the money outright, it would have been like $2,700 a person, every man, woman, and child. I got $600. So the American people are borrowing money from themselves in the future. That's what taxes and bailouts are essentially. And like, in order to take out a loan, you have to have faith that the future is going to be better than the present, and that preferably you're taking out that loan in order to make the future better than the present. And that's how you accelerate an economy. That's the whole point of banking, loaning, all that fun, is to accelerate growth. If you can accelerate growth, then the debt is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'll be able to pay this over the course of time because over the course of time, I'm going to improve my station. My lot in life is going to improve, and I can afford to pay this. Not now, but in the future. With the money you give me, I will be able to afford the money you gave me. It's very effective when it works, isn't everything? It's very effective for growing. But of course, you have bubbles and all that other fun. And then you got the banker. Yeah, we don't got time for all that fun. All right. I'm running out of memory. I gotta delete some shit. So, 15 minutes. We got more in common with each other than with the people that want us to fight. Everyone needs to get that through their head all the time, every time. Like and share. If anyone's watching, we're yelling into the void.